not like us.
What's going on, YouTube? This is the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Nimes YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we are back. And I'm doing something a little different. This is not necessarily a Brightburn review. This is more of the possibilities of a superhero horror universe. I wanted to talk about a Brightburn superhero horror universe and the possibilities of it, going off the ending credit scene. And being that I watched Brightburn before, but I never sit through and watch none of those, none of the end credits. I only seen some of the stuff where he was destroying buildings, but I just cut it off. Brightburn was not one of those movies that I enjoyed. Like, I feel like it had a lot of potential, and at that time, I wasn't on YouTube, I wasn't doing no channel or nothing, so I couldn't go in and say what I felt like they could have done and things like that. But after having a second viewing, being that this was my second time watching it, this was my first time seeing this end credit scene where they showing potential other superhero DC villains out here, well, horror DC villains. Well, you know, not DC villains in particular, but you know they are doing the whole thing as far as Brightburn, making it a horror version. What if Superman was evil or whatnot? So that's where I come into play, and that's where the excitement kind of came in for me, because I was like, how did I not catch this my first time watching this? I guess because I just was so let down by the movie. But the second time, I actually enjoyed Brightburn more the second viewing. Not only that, catching this scene and seeing like this horror version of Aquaman, a horror version of what looks like Wonder Woman, a horror version of what looks like Flash, and I'm thinking that alien dude is supposed to be Martian Manhunter. I don't know, because who in the Justice League is that? I could be wrong. Y'all let me know as far as DC characters who they could potentially be portraying as far as horror versions of them. Of course, they're not using their names. Of course, none of that stuff. This is, you had James Gunn and James Gunn's brothers basically coming in and having their own take on a version of Superman. This is not Superman. This is not the Superman character. This is not Clark Kent. They do it their own version of it, but of course with different names and all that. But being comic fans, you know what they was doing. But with all that being said, it was about the potential of what they could have done. And I have some theories that I want to talk about, but I was particularly wanting to do this video based off seeing these images at the end. Being that this movie came, when did this come out? 2019, 2018? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. It might have been older than that. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I remember when this trailer came out. I think everybody remember when this trailer came out, because the first thing you thought about was Man of Steel. That's the first thing I thought about when I seen this trailer when it first came out, was Man of Steel. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel for beat as far as the beginning of the trailer, and then it flipped, and it was like, oh, this is what we doing. It was a lot of potential with watching that trailer and seeing what they could possibly do with this movie. And that's kind of the things I want to get into, the possibilities. Not only with the reincarnation of Superman, what they was trying to do as an evil Superman, but I'm talking about the possibilities of an evil Aquaman, an evil Batman, and an evil Wonder Woman. Give or take, I don't know too much about Aquaman's villains or whatnot, so I don't know who I could say would flip the narrative, because there's certain people that I feel like could do things, and I'm particularly going to be talking about Brightburn and the possibilities of what they could do with Superman and Superman characters, as far as flipping the narrative of what they was trying to do with this movie, and also things they could possibly do with, like, even Aquaman, not the villains, but the possibilities of an evil Aquaman, and the possibilities of Batman and characters, surrounding characters with Batman, even the villains of the Batman universe. But as far as Brightburn, like I said, this movie, Brightburn, is about James Gunn and his brothers did this movie. If I'm not mistaken, he wrote the movie, but his brothers directed it or something like that. Anyway, they're basically trying to make an evil take on Superman. What would have happened if Superman would have came to Earth and he was basically evil? He wasn't trying to be good or nothing like that, no matter how good his parents were to him. That's basically what they did with this. This is not Clark Kent. This is not Superman. This is not a DC character. This is not none of that. Of course, they would have been sued, legal, and all that shit. They wouldn't have been able to do that. This is a original story coming from them, but of course, like I said, if you're not crazy, our audience is not crazy, people are not crazy. We know Superman, we know what he does, we know his powers. So when you watch this trailer, you know, like, okay, y'all are doing an evil Superman. Like, but anyway, that's pretty much this movie is. It's giving a take on what if Superman would have came to Earth and he been evil, as far as a child or whatnot. And the thing I want to say is, if the people that was raised him, if this was supposed to be our Martha Kent and Jonathan Kent, that wasn't it. I like the woman somewhat, and even the daddy, but excuse me, y'all, a bad little cough. But they just didn't feel. I feel like this is what I'm gonna say. Another problem with Brightburn, it was too fast. It should have been more development. We didn't really even get. I didn't feel like we got so much of a family dynamic with them. Like, we didn't feel the love of why they should care about what's his name is Brandon in this movie. Why they should care about the evil Superman so much in the movie. But I feel like that played a lot in it, because when it came to stuff starting to go down and stuff starting to happen, you think about when you watch a Superman movie, and it's Superman show or whatever, and if something happens to Jonathan Kent, Martha, whatever, you care about those characters. Excuse me, I don't know what's up with my voice. I mean my throat. But give or take, Man of Steel. I know that's Kevin Costner. He's a good ass actor. But still, we didn't get that much time with that Jonathan Kent. We've had different versions of Jonathan Kent. I really enjoyed Smallville's Jonathan Kent. I feel like they gave the Kents in Smallville humanity. They wasn't the perfect people, but you wanted them to be your parents. Like, for real though. But anyway, as far as if these were supposed to be our Martha and Jonathan Kents, we didn't get enough development with these characters. We didn't get enough time with them. We didn't ever get, like I said, family dynamics, a chemistry with them to feel like, okay, this is a family. If something feel like it's something that is wrong with this evil Superman as a little boy, I feel like we are going to have a reason why they should care, or why they care, or why they would go to an extent to protect him. But that's the thing. They didn't even go that type of route, and I feel like they should have done similar things like that. They could have done. It should have been more of a development process, because if a lot of potential behind this. Now let me go into some of the possibilities I feel like they could have done with Brightburn. I would have loved for them, and I'm skipping ahead of stuff, but I would have loved for them to not make him straight off evil, because I feel like they made him off the gate bad. He was already at that point, and I'm like, so what was he like between the time he was a baby getting to that age? That's what you see what I'm saying? Was he not like doing little things or whatnot? And that's the thing. I feel like I would have wanted more of a build up for him to become what he became. I would have wanted to see reasonings behind what he was doing. Like I said, first viewing, I did not like this at all. That's why I said I didn't even stay for them credits or whatnot. Second viewing, I liked it a little bit more. And I think I did because I was putting my own ideas in it and wishing they could have done this, they could have done that. Think about them, like, it's a route they go, like I said, making him evil off the gate, not giving him a reasoning behind his things. Like I said, they kind of try to throw it in there as far as the voices coming from where he came from, as far as I'm thinking that's his ship or whatnot. If I'm not mistaken, it is his ship, and this and the third. But it's like, okay, I see that, but why not go through a process almost of like having a Jonathan, like not a Jonathan, but a Jor-El. You understand what I'm saying? Having a Jor-El trying to talk to him and have him doing certain things, doing evil things. You know what I'm saying? Kind of putting that narrative on it. That's what I'm saying. The develop, like, if you're going to go this route as far as doing an evil Superman, why not try to do the whole thing? Go all out with it. You know what I'm saying? So I would have really loved for them to do something like that, having a Jor-El. You know, like Jor-El was trying to get Clark to embrace his path as far as being Superman or whatnot, doing all of that, but not going so deep because he was still a child. But still, if they would have kind of with that route, having Jor-El, have him just trying to destroy people, kill, like do things, and having him not really wanting to, but trying to fight against it, but he at a point can't control it or whatnot, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that would have really worked for me. Another thing besides that is, like I said, I wanted more development with the characters who we posted got as Martha and Jonathan Kent. I would have loved for them to play the more of a role where if he would have started doing certain things where they would, the mother was always being protected, but the person who was supposed to be our Jonathan Kent, he was already at the gate like, no, something wrong with this nigga. Something wrong with him. Give or take, he was right. What I'm saying, if they would have had more development for a family thing, I think you would have seen a difference with him being more protective too, like the mother was. And maybe even them going to an extent, they could have flipped this so good and making Jonathan and Martha being protectors of him as far as his evil deeds and making them bad guys too. I'm just saying, there's potential there, man, because you could have did all of that and had them going to a point of maybe even committing crimes or killing people themselves just to protect Clark. I mean, not Clark, but you know what I'm saying, try to protect the young evil Superman or whatnot. Another thing I feel like they could have done with this, end credits. Like, if they would have done all of that, say they would have done the stuff I'm talking about, by the time we got to the end, and they would have had, like, an appearance from a character, a Lex Luthor-like character as a child, but a Lex Luthor-like character, and making him the good guy. Making him, making it a point where the evil Superman killed his family, Lex's family or whatnot, or did something to him and putting him on a war path to stop this evil Superman, and making it a story where instead of Lex being on the other side like in DC, making it where Lex is actually a good guy, giving him the potential to be going after this evil Superman, and that could be leading into a sequel. Understand? Like, that's what I'm saying. And give or take, I'm gonna say this, maybe other people done brung up these moments of ideas. If you have, I'm telling you, I've not watched anything on Brightburn as far as possibilities, this and the third. I have not. Like I said, I went back and watched this, give or take, because it was Halloween time, and I was going through movies, and I'm like, oh, should I remember this? Let me check this out again. I gave it a chance the first time, but I didn't like it, so I said, let me give it a chance the second time. And being that I started having these ideas again, because I had these ideas the first time I watched it, but I didn't see this end credit scene that they had was showing like these other evil versions of villains possible. So being that I seen that, that's what made me go into this. Another thing is maybe they did this with DC and Elseworld stories. I don't know. I don't know too deep as far as DC comics or whatnot, the lore and whatnot. I'm not going to tell you. I don't know. Because I know they got the whole thing with Injustice and having evil versions of Superman and whatnot, but I don't think the whole Justice League is evil. Are they? Like I said, I don't know. I know they got other stories out here, Elseworld stories as far as DC or whatnot, comics or whatnot, that probably got these type of stories in here maybe, or even having a good version of Lex Luthor. I'm just saying what my opinion and my possibilities that I feel like they could have possibly done. And that's what I feel like could have been a good, nice end credit scene. I feel like they definitely should have kept the scenes with showing these other evil possible superheroes out here, but I would have loved to see a Lex Luthor-like character, a young character like the evil Superman, a young boy, Lex Luthor-like character. Something happening with him where maybe his parents were in a plane that the evil Superman had crashed, and him going on a path of building this suit. You see where I'm going with this? Building a suit and going out trying to find something that could possibly stop this evil Superman. Kryptonite. Not kryptonite. It's not going to be kryptonite in the movie. I know it's going to be another name, but I'm just saying. Think about this. What if Lex Luthor created a program like a Brainiac, and he using that to try to stop this evil Superman and making Brainiac a good character, almost like a android type friend to like almost like a Luke Skywalker and his androids on Star Wars. You see what I'm saying? The flip, having Lex Luthor and Brainiac working together on some like a building like this type of relationship where, of course, Brainiac is a machine or whatnot, but still, he have his Lex Luthor as his creator or whatnot. It's a dynamic thing, and I feel like they could done something like that, man. And I'm talking sequel wise now, going into sequel wise. That's pretty much what I feel like they could have done as far as possibilities. Brightburn. Now I want to go over to the possibilities or other evil DC characters. Of course, like I said, they are doing their whole thing. James Gunn, they was doing an evil take on Superman. So when they got to this end credit scene, which I talk about, you showing an evil Aquaman, an evil Wonder Woman, looks like an evil Flash, and some type of alien, and I don't know, like, is that an evil Martian Manhunter or something? Possibilities, but my take on thinking about an evil Aquaman is like, whoa. It's like having sharks attack people. What if they, like, think about that. That's what I'm saying. What if they would have flipped this whole story and did a version of an evil Aquaman like they did with Brightburn, and having the ocean? Like, think of the possibilities there. Having, like I said, sharks attack people, whales, him doing all type of things with sea creatures, having them attack people, cruise ships, this and the I'm just saying the possibilities there as far as Aquaman. I'm not sure if Black Manta is a villain throughout the whole Aquaman comics or whatnot. I don't think he is. He might turn anti. I'm not sure. I don't know too many of Aquaman's villains or his people. You know, like Joker. You know, like Batman got Joker. Like I said, Superman got Lex Luthor. I don't know those villains that they got. Like just like Wonder Woman. I don't know too many of those villains. I'm not that deep in their lore. But I am thinking about, like I said, the potential that they can do just like the stuff the evil Superman was doing in Brightburn, and having him just do all this chaos in the ocean. That's what my take was on having maybe the possibility of an evil Aquaman. That's the whole thing, that forming this evil Justice League. And I know they got certain things out there, like they got like a dark Justice League, but that's not Superman them. That's like John Constantine and like what is it? Swamp Thing. That's like those characters, right? So anyway, that's my take, and I feel like if they did those type of things, the only thing I would think about is how would they be able to stop something like that as far as like evil Justice League. How would you stop that? That's the only thing, and that's where I come in with having Lex Luthor create Brainiac, and then maybe them teaming up. I'm gonna get to that. I feel like I'm basically flipping a switch. If you're gonna have DC characters turning evil, why not have DC villains turning good? If you're gonna do those type of versions, but make it in a good storytelling way. If you did this, as far as having a Brightburn super evil superhero universe, that's all I'm saying. Now I want to get to, and like I said, the only reason I'm not really giving a take on what could possibilities be with like an evil Wonder Woman or evil Flash, because I'm not too enticed on their lore. That's why. The whole thing with Batman, though, there's so many possibilities. If you do an evil version of Batman or Bruce Wayne, think about that. What if you would have had Bruce killing his parents, him actually doing the deed? And like I'm just saying, as far as an evil take, if they wanted to do something like they did with Brightburn, having this version of Batman where Bruce Wayne is a killer, a psychopath at a young age, growing up to take over this man of Batman, but doing it not like a vigilante, but actually being a serial killer version. Like Batman ain't a hero, he's a serial killer in this version. Then you flip that narrative of having Joker be like a anti-hero, almost turning Joker into a Punisher type character. You see where I'm going with this? That's what I'm saying. Having Joker narrative be like this laugh or whatnot, but leaving it as a sign or a warning for criminals and turning him into some type of form of justice, trying to stop this serial killer version of Batman. Not only that, turning Catwoman into a killer too, as far as maybe she's turning people into cats or whatnot. I'm just giving a take on turning these heroes into villains. I skipped something too. I think I did, but I think I mentioned it. I didn't mean to go away from the whole Batman take of evil Batman, but I wanted to go right back to Brightburn right quick. I wanted to also say having an evil Lois Lane. Like I said, I was talking about maybe having Jonathan Kent, Martha Kent, and Lois Lane all together in cahoots helping the evil Superman. That's what I'm saying, having a take like that. That's all I'm saying about that. That's where I got to the point of Batman, where you have an evil Batman being a serial killer and an evil Catwoman. She's like, maybe you could do a little something different. I don't know. But this was where we switch over to having Harley Quinn as a top-notch detective, like a super detective. You see where I'm going with this. And like I said, having Joker is like this anti-hero, like this Punisher type hero. He ain't this funny character. He's good with his hands, combat skills, and all of that, making him that type of character. It's a lot, man. It's so much potential with this, and even having Jim Gordon being in on it with Batman as far as his serial killer deeds, and giving him updates on the cops if they getting too close. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm just giving my take and my possibilities of things they could possibly do if they were to do a Brightburn evil superhero universe. That's my take. And like I said, if people don't came up with these similar ideas, cool, man. I'm telling you, I don't know. I have not watched any videos based on Brightburn because, like I said, I wasn't into the movie and I didn't want to hear anything about the movie because I didn't like it. And I know they weren't doing no sequel because the movie didn't really make no money at the box office. So when I watched it this second viewing, I'm like, man, these ideas start coming back. And like I said, I had these ideas the first time I watched it. That was like 2 years ago, like something like that. But these ideas coming back up, and I even had more ideas going into the whole Batman scenario and what they could do with that if he was like this turned serial killer. And like I think about that stuff. The only thing, like I said, is just if they did form like an evil Justice League, what would be able to stop that? But I feel like Lex Luthor, money, brains, and bringing in other people like a anti-hero Punisher, bringing in like a brain, like I said, making Brainiac a good version, having them working for Lex Luthor as far as trying to stop Superman, having other potential villains who can step up and go toe-to-toe with Justice League and turning them into good guys. That's pretty much my take and what I was trying to do as far as my version of Brightburn. And if they tried to do an evil superhero universe, I wanted to give the possibilities of things they could have done with Brightburn and where they could have led to maybe even a possible sequel, and things they could do with other possible evil DC characters that they are basing their characters off as far as what they're doing with the Brightburn movie or whatnot. But that's pretty much all I had as far as the characters that I know, because I know Superman and Batman more and their lore as far as villains and their side characters more than I know about Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and those other characters. I really just don't know too much about their lore. But as far as the possibilities, like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section. Have y'all heard other better possibilities out there? Let me know. I'll go check them out, because I'm definitely probably going to start checking out other videos now on Brightburn because of what I seen. But I wanted to do mine first because I didn't want to hear any other ideas that might possibly sound similar to mine. I wanted to do mine first before I check out other videos. But like I said, let me know in the comment section, how do y'all feel about the possibilities or the ideas I came up with? Do y'all feel like they would have been good ideas? They would have worked for this if they would have had good writing and more build up, a little longer version, not too long, but a little bit of a longer movie. But y'all let me know in the comment section, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is the road to 400 subs. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload new videos. Shout out to all my subscribers. Shout out to everybody who's been viewing my videos, man. I really appreciate it, man. We out.